This is where it all started, people, the 90s first-person shooters that paved the way for the future of gaming. So, here we go. In a world of AAA games and big releases from insanely rich publishers, sometimes smaller remasters and ports go generally unnoticed by the majority of gamers. And unfortunately, due to the massive advertising campaigns by those huge companies, most people are too interested in the newest multi-million dollar loot box and microtransaction filled, overhyped, cheap, and lazy products that reach the ears of every poor soul connected to the internet nowadays. But I don't want to mention any names. It is a crime that a port of the original legendary Turok for N64 and its sequel, Turok 2: Seeds of Evil, drifts silently under everybody's radar and barely gets any press or attention of any kind, both before and after its release that was earlier this week. If you haven't heard, Night Dive Studios is a game development company that is best known for obtaining rights to classic video games that are unfortunately no longer available to play, and they update them for modern platforms and re-release them for older fans and newer gamers alike. They have been the talk of the town recently because of their System Shock remaster that is due for release this year, but this month Turok and Turok 2 came to Xbox One thanks to Night Dive and their dedicated development team. Turok's original release was back in 1997 and Turok 2 released shortly after that, and for many people it was their introduction into the first-person shooter genre. Back then games didn't have multiplayer or spectacular cinematics, so they had to rely on storytelling and, more importantly, replayability. Just like Doom, Turok did not disappoint in that regard, and along with GoldenEye, it was one of the first games that I ever played when I was 8 years old. Got my first gaming console, the N64, and fell in love with gaming in general. Fortunately, this re-release is an epic blast from the past that satisfies all nostalgic cravings that you may have, and for newer players it will be an education into 90s gaming and where it all started. As before, players will mainly be running around, killing dinosaurs, and solving puzzles with an assortment of intensely powerful and varied guns and gadgets, all while you found a way to save the world. It is massively engaging and the most fun you will have with a shooter in a long time, and that includes modern day games as well. The fights that you'll remember most are obviously the battles with the dinosaurs, such as the robotic T-Rex or the pack of raptors, each which require different strategies and challenges you in different ways, forcing you to be imaginative and think before you act. Sometimes, on harder difficulties, the game can be brutal at these moments, but that just makes your eventual victory all the more satisfying and rewarding. The gameplay is as smooth as melted butter, and it handles much better than I even remember, despite the fact the original being a joy to play back in 1997 anyway. The controls are perfectly optimized for modern players while at the same time still feeling familiar to older players. The enemies moved smoothly and I had little to no issues with the game's stability whatsoever. It all ran like a dream. Obviously, with these older games, you have to realize that they were developed back in the 90s and sometimes that will show. Night Dive has worked wonders with how the game plays, but there is only so much they can do with how the game looks and sounds without remaking the whole game. It still retains its artistic style whilst also looking sharper and sounding clearer. Textures look good compared to the originals and background sounds are crisp. It's as good as an improvement as you can expect for a port of a 1997 game. Overall, the nostalgia aspect and the improved gameplay won me over here. It won't win any beauty contests, no, but the graphics is at the bottom of my list of priorities when playing games, and the presentation, the replayability, and of course the dinosaurs make this port of the N64 classic a must-buy for anyone who loved the original, and for people who respect the origins of gaming alike. I have to give this game a 9 out of 10. It's the same score that I would have given to the N64 versions of these games. If you haven't played them, go and do it. If you have, now you have an excuse to play them again. Night Dive Studios, you are a beacon of hope in an industry of corporate greed. You know what passionate gamers want, and I thank you profusely for delivering it. Fantastic, thank you very much. Anyway, thanks for tuning into this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not give me a like, and if you want to see more like this, subscribe for future reviews and all gaming related videos. If you want to support my show in any other way, you can visit my Patreon or any other social media websites that I use. that I have linked down below. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.